Hello everyone, Moonstone Karma here, and I'm back with another topic. It has been a while since I have been in the space to, sit here and speak with, talk with you guys and speak with you guys, but I did have something on my heart that I wanted to, discuss with you and talk about. And it is about karmic connections. And so the topic of this video is going to be, what is a karmic connection? Many of you know there are different types of connections that we experience with people on an energetic level, and some of them being soulmate connections and twin flame connections and cosmic connections. Right now we're going to talk about karmic connections and what they are and how to identify them. I think that a karmic connection is relatively easy to identify as long as you just remember the basic behind what it actually means. The karmic connection that we experience with other people in our life is typically categorized as experiences and basically just different experiences that we go through over and over repeatedly with the same person, or it could be the same type of experience or a similar experience but with different people. So you can be going through a karmic cycle with the same person, or the act of that actual cycle could be experienced with across different people in your life. And there's a saying that maybe you experience different versions of people, or you keep going through and enduring the same experiences, but with different people in different relationships in your life. And it could be that the karmic connection happened repeatedly throughout the time span of your life, starting from even when you were a child, or even as a teenager. It could be a shorter cycle. Maybe it started in your adult years and you continuously keep going through this cycle, this vicious cycle that won't break or it won't end. And on an even more deeper spiritual level, it could be you're experiencing the same experiences that are showing up from past lives that are just being pushed out into your current life. And to end that cycle, you have to identify it, and in order to complete the cycle, only when you complete the cycle will you actually heal from it. But you have to do some inner work in order to heal from a karmic cycle that you want to come out of. If you're not identifying it as a cycle, then most likely you're going to continue to keep experiencing it because it's embedded within your subconscious way of living, if that makes sense. One of the things to remember about the karmic connection is that, like I said before, the main point is that you continuously go through this cycle repeatedly, and whether you're aware of it or not, it will continue to show up in other areas, and past, present, future tense, so to speak. Sometimes we may be in a karmic connection with another person and then mistaking that as a soulmate that maybe you are just having a challenging time with. And from my research and information that I've gathered on the topic, soulmate connections bring out the best in you, and karmic connections seem to bring out the worst in you. So it has nothing to do with the fact that you may love someone or something. It's the fact of the matter is that if it's not really helping you, or it's not helping you grow, it's keeping you stagnant, it's not really helping you learn, it is possible that maybe that is a karmic connection. And although karmic connections in our life are important, it's not something that we need to, you know, necessarily hold on to forever. We need to take the lessons and learn from whatever is the lesson that's trying to teach us. Whatever the situation is trying to teach us, it's important to learn from it, grow from it, evolve from it. And if it's not helping you propel forward, it's actually keeping you stagnant, or it's holding you back. And you can be going through this type of connection with another human being, but you don't think it's karmic because of your love for the person. And you love this person, and you really want to be around this person, or you want to be with this person, share your life with this person. And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship, or it even could be family members. But you find yourself going through the same conflicts over and over without any sort of resolution. That is a main sign that you are in a karmic connection. You could be, you know, a heavy drug user, and you want to stop. You don't like the fact that you're relying so heavily on these substances to, you know, get through your days. But you're not yet ready to be in a place where you're overcoming that substance. I don't want to call it an addiction, but it just could be something that you indulge in, that you really like, and maybe, you know, it's not really the best decision to be indulging in, you know, the use of the substance, but you like the way it makes you feel, but you know you should really stop. And so you're not ready to really just hone in on the tools that you need to stop the cycle. That could also be a karmic karmic cycle that you are enduring, but only when you are ready to acknowledge it, see it for what it is, and make a conscious decision to break the cycle, you will still continue to endure. And, you know, so it could be people, places, or things that you are engaging in heavily, and it's basically a vicious cycle. Or you may stop doing it for a while, and then you're right back to doing it. Something triggers you, and then you're right back to doing it it wasn't your intention to indulge back in it. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. If it does, please, you know, share your thoughts, share your experiences, share your stories. And also, if you have any, I have a variety of topics that I want to talk about when it comes to these types of different connections on the spiritual level. But if you also have topics or questions that you want me to talk about, you can drop it in the comments, or if you're more shy, you can email me directly at moonstonekarma@gmail.com, and I will be happy to share your story. Let's keep the conversations going. And I thank you all for your patience and your kindness. Kindness goes a long way. And I want you to always remember to please be kind, because what you put out into the universe is what you will get back tenfold. So always remember to practice kindness. A little bit of kindness goes a long way. So back to the topic of karmic connections. Do you feel that karmic connections stem from past lives, or do you feel like karmic connections are something that just starts in your waking life, starting at an early age, and then it's just a repeated cycle that just continues and carries out until you learn the lesson, or until, you know, the end of life? What are your thoughts and comments on that? And what is the purpose of a karmic cycle and or a karmic connection? The purpose is to teach us a lesson. Some way, somehow, we are going to continue to endure that experience until we learn from it and change it, learn from it and evolve, learn from it and grow, work through it, work past it, move past it. Until we do that, it will continue to resurface. It will continue to show up in our life. It doesn't have to be every day, but it could be on just a consistent basis. You're noticing the same patterns and your experiences with this particular topic. And that is for you to identify, because everyone is on their own spiritual journey. But it is a good thing if you can identify it. That way you can decide if you want to keep it in your life or not. I hope you're choosing positive energy and choosing things that are going to help you become a better person. You're not holding on to karmic cycles that are hindering you and toxic to your, mental and spiritual, psychological health. I hope you're choosing the healthier path in life and able to identify what this karmic cycle is and how you're going to be able to, not stay in that. Because when you stay in karmic cycles, it manifests and becomes something bigger, and it does nothing but hold you back. Always remember, karmic cycles that are that are identifiable, that are not serving you, you must let go of. You have to let it go. Even though it might hurt. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. It will hurt at first, but eventually you will heal, and it will get better, and you'll start to feel the difference internally, and on a spiritual level, you'll feel more at peace, and you'll be happier that you made the decision to let go of karmic cycles. People often stay in karmic cycles because it's a level of comfort. It's familiar. It's familiarity. It's comfort. It's something that we are used to. And, it's easy to stay in something that we're used to, and it's harder. It's more challenging for us to break off into a new and, experience the change. But once you do, things should get better as long as you stay the course and you continue to be consistent and intentional in what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish on your spiritual journey. And also, I will say that I have been able to identify some karmic connections and, just repeated cycles. I've seen repeated cycles in my life over, at least since I became conscious. And I would say I became conscious during my spiritual awakening. I remember when I had my spiritual awakening. Usually the spiritual awakening is triggered by a person, place, or thing. If you can identify or link your spiritual awakening to a person, then there is a good possibility that person could be your twin flame. The whole purpose of a twin flame is to ignite your spiritual awakening, but some people don't get a spiritual awakening that's being triggered by another person. So it could go either way, but if you are able to identify a repeated cycle, just something that that's continuously showing up in your life over and over and over again with no end, that is a clear indication that is a karmic cycle. Now, when it comes to the karmic relationship, it is a person that you are experiencing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Or it's a thing, an experience that you are experiencing over and over and over and over again with different people. So there's multiple ways to think about the perspective of a karmic cycle. I think they are important to have, but it is also important that you are able to identify them and figure out how you're going to grow past karmic cycles, because nobody wants to be stuck in a repeated cycle, forever. I mean, maybe you do. I'm just speaking for myself when I say there are certain things that I don't want to keep, enduring over and over and over, especially if it's not healthy or if it's not positive, it's not optimistic. I don't want to continue to keep going through it over and over and over again. I have to start figuring out the steps and, the building blocks to coming out of that karmic cycle. But the key thing is to be able to identify it. I am sort of running out of some some more examples and ideas, and to go on and on about the topic of the karmic cycle. I know in other videos I've spoken for a little bit longer about the topic, the respective topic. But I will say it has been interesting, and it has been very educational, learning about different types of connections that we are experiencing with people in our life, and all the experiences that we have on a daily basis. They all come together, they all tell a story, and everybody has their own story. I have a story, I know you have a story, and I encourage you to share your story if you're comfortable enough to share your story on this platform. But I wanted us to be able to use this platform as a way to learn from each other and teach each other while sharing experiences. And I've been doing a lot of research on the topics that I talk about, and I'm very passionate about it. I do feel like I'm very knowledgeable on the subjects that I do speak about, but I'm always looking to learn more and new ways to grow and be able to connect with my people, my spiritual people, that is, on this level. So please do share, comment, and don't forget to hit the please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you can get real-time updates, notifications when I post new content. And I thank you, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.